Hey everyone, you are watching String Cheese and Applesauce, and today we're doing a live build of a Star Wars set. This set is 75039. It is the V-Wing Starfighter. Now this set is suggested for ages 7 to 12, so we'll see how easy or how hard it is to build, what gives us difficulty and whatnot. Only 201 pieces in this set. Looks like it comes with new minifigure and new droid, so we'll definitely look at those two as well. The other thing that is marketed as new is the spring-loaded shooter. So I personally have not seen this shooter yet, so let's go ahead and figure out what that is. In here, looking at the back of the box, you can see it shows you a kind of a top view, front view, kind of some play features. Shows you how the wings looks like they rotate up, rotate down. Gives you a little picture down here of the new shooter. So enough of that talking. Let's get into it here. Now, someone had asked me to do some Star Wars sets on my videos. So they ask and they receive. They didn't request a specific Star Wars, so I just grabbed one of these new ones. This is a 2014 set, so it's fairly new. About $20. Okay, looking in this box here, we got a bag one, a bag two, one instruction book, and a really large sticker sheet, considering this is just a 200-piece set. So let's put bag two to the side. Go ahead and open bag one. And of course we've got small part bag in the bigger bag. We know we're going to build the minifigures first, so I always pull those pieces out. Push everything else to the side. Open up our little bag here. So this looks like bag one has about, I don't know, about 110 to 120 pieces of the 201. Alright, so our first step is the minifigure, of course. That's what you kids are here for anyway. Okay, so this helmet is really cool. You see our minifigure there. He has a face, although he's wearing shades. Nothing on the back of his head. Decent back printing. No printing on the legs at all. That's a bummer. But look at this helmet. It's actually got an open slot there for his little glasses or goggles to see through. Now the detail is all in this helmet. A lot of printing on the front, on all these sides, top, nothing on the back. It's all on the front. So it's pretty cool. And then of course, the front of the torso there. It's got some sort of electronic breathing device. There's our minifigure, and I guess this is a bad guy. Is this from the Clone Wars? You know, I'm an original trilogy guy. So I don't know if this is a Clone Wars set or a episode 1, 2, or 3 set. Sometimes they say it on the front, but it just says V-Wing. Sometimes the way I can tell if it's a Clone Wars set is the minifigures have cartoonish faces. This one doesn't. So maybe this is a episode 1, 2, or 3 vehicle. Alright, so that's the one minifigure. I mean, you technically get 2, but the other one's a droid. Looks like we'll get into that droid in bag number 2. Let me go ahead and zoom in here for you kids so you can see, because we're going to start building with this plate. We've got a couple 1x1 studs with a Technic pinhole. Put 2 more on there. See those pinholes? My guess is that's flick fires. We are actually getting right into the brand new spring-loaded shooter right away. So here's the shooter piece. I'm going to show you. It actually looks like a 1x4 brick that has 2 molded pieces, the top and the bottom, and there's a spring in there. And I know it's in there because I can shake it and I can hear it. So we put that on there, and we have all of these green plasma looking missiles. It looks like they gave us 1 extra. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Okay, so these missiles, they have a little notch on them. Let me see if I can get you to see it here. Oh, it's not focusing. All right, there we go. So you see that notch sticking straight up right there? That is more or less like a key, and it can only go in this thing one way. You see the notch on the top of there? There we go. So then the notch here, when you insert it, they have to line up, or else that flick fire won't go in there. So see, if you turn it a little bit, it hits that wall of the stud or the brick. And by lining up that little keyhole, it allows that to go in there and click. So the firing mechanism is you have this, let me wait for it to focus, there we go. So you have this piece sticking out on the end, and you push down on it, and it releases from the spring, shoots out. So I'll have to test them after it's done and see how far they shoot. So look at that, we already saw our new spring-loaded pieces. All right. So it's funny, the next step on the instructions, they tell us to take out, they say, no, don't build it with those missiles in there. Yes, take them out. So why did they tell us to put them in there in the first place? I'll take them out. I'll play by the rules today. Take them out, and let's just continue with our build. I feel we're talking too much. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I will crank it up a notch here. If you're building with me at home, now is the time to catch up, or keep up with me, because I am going to blow through this at a feverish pace. You know, check out my series of everything you need to know videos. Mostly on those, what I do is I'll do a time-lapse build. So I'll record the build first, and then we'll review it, and when I edit the video I just speed it up so you can just kind of see it all come together real quick. But this is like a 200 piece set is like the perfect size to really do a whole video, kind of walk you through the process of what's being done, show you any cool techniques or any new pieces. So I like to do these live build videos for anything that's around 200 pieces. And of course, if there's any video or any set that you want me to see build, let me try that again. If there's any set that you would like to see me build, leave it in the comments, and I'll do any and everything I can to accommodate you. I have accumulated so many sets that I have a ton that still need to be built. So I may have one of yours sitting in the heap ready to be built. I may not have it, but I would love to get it. And what better reason to get it than to get it for my fans, for my Lego peeps. Alright, so we're getting pretty big here. I'm gonna actually zoom out so you can see what's going on. So we've got a decent base going. Nothing crazy here. See, we've got this little hinge plate down here. Of course, that's probably for some landing gear. If you've built any of these Star Wars ships before, you kind of see the same techniques being used throughout them. You usually have, obviously, the flick fires. This model has introduced a newer version of that flick fire. And then you have some sort of landing gear. That would be this on the bottom. The other things you consistently see is a cockpit. You got your wings, obviously, and some sort of propulsion mechanism or engines that, you know, power your fantasy vehicle across the universe. Alright, so now we're getting into a few more Technic pieces. Now this piece is newish. I think they came out with it late. Last year, maybe earlier this year. I don't know, the Technic sets are delayed for releasing in the United States for some reason. So I can't remember if it was the first wave that we're just barely starting to see here in the United States, even though it's halfway through the year. So what we've got here is a Technic axle, one length long, with a 2 long friction pin. So this looks real similar to a Technic 3 long friction pin, but we've never had it with the axle end on it. We have an axle with a 1 long friction, and then we have an axle with a 1 long non-friction. This is the first one that has the 2 long friction. I know, if you're not into Technic, you completely didn't even understand the thing I said, but I personally am a Technic guy, so I know kind of the terms. So if I just bored you to death, so sorry. If you don't even know what a friction pin is, I don't blame you. I don't judge you. Just stick with me here. I'm just trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I mean, this whole piece here is all Technic pieces, and I'm not going to sit here and explain what every piece is to you. That would be boring and nerdy. Okay, so what's cool about the Technic stuff, as you can see already, using those pins and axles and various Technic bricks and a few gears, you can see you can turn this axle now, and those gears are now moving. Or you can turn the gear and the axle moves. So which one are they going to use? I'm assuming this is going to be for the the wing mechanism to go up and down. That would be probably a very safe guess. So we're just gonna have to build it and find out. So we're gonna cover it up now. So now we've nicely secured that gearbox more or less within our bricks there. The color scheme of this model is a lot of gray, either light bluish gray or dark bluish gray, with some maroon sprinkled in, as well as a little bit of navy blue. But for the most part, it is all gray and dark gray. The colors kind of remind me of, oops, piece is falling apart here. Oh, what was that series? It's on the tip of my tongue. Where was it Pharaoh's Quest? I think that's what it was. It was a desert theme. Some sort of desert theme. It was a pretty cool biplane. I actually have that set. Built it years ago and it's in the spare parts bin. And there was a sand, just all these kind of cool sets based on the desert and heroes and mummies. You saw a lot of this maroon color in that series of sets. I don't know if that was even a useful piece of information, but that's kind of where I remember seeing a lot of this color. You don't see much of it in what I would consider the mainstream sets. So this is a pretty cool little long bow with the 4 studs on the end. I haven't seen too many of those. Alright, so our chassis of this ship is coming together really well. We're actually almost done with all the pieces from bag number 1. If you notice, I am skipping the steps where it tells me to put on stickers. I keep all my models mostly debadged. I don't put stickers on them. For those of you that have seen quite a few of my videos, number 1, thank you. And number 2, you already know I don't put stickers on them. Rare occasions I have. Very rare. One of the most recent ones that I can think of that I put stickers on was the Evil Lair, Lord Business Evil Lair from Lego movie sets. I actually put the stickers on that one. I thought the battery stickers were cool. So that is one of the most recent ones that I've done. Can't think of any others that I've done that I put stickers on. Alright, now it is really coming together. That is where the cockpit hinge door is going to go. Alright, so that is it for bag 1. And I've got 2 pieces left over. But I have this weird, you usually don't see big pieces left over. And I just realized I left it off on the bottom. But it's gonna be an easy fix. Peel that plate back, put it on there, and put this plate back on. How did I leave that off? Done. All right, on to bag 2. Bag 2 has our droid. So we get to see this new droid. What they claim on the box is new, at least. Of course, there's a little bag in the big bag. And part count wise, there always seems to be more pieces in the little bag. Just because they're smaller, you can fit a lot more in there than there ever are in the big bag. So let's look at this new droid. Curious to see what so new about it. All right, so it looks like, let's see if I got that on right. I wish the heads would swivel like they do on the movies. So this looks like a red and white R2-D2. You know, you've got those similar markings that you see on the R2 units. Got the little, what I would say the eyeball, and then a few other hatches and decorations all around the top of his head. And the heads are these dome pieces. So they just snap on there. It'd be cool if they swiveled. And it would be easy to do. You know, you've already got the Technic axle right there. So you just need the axle with the non-friction pin, and then just make this a axle hole or a pinhole, and head would swivel. But then I guess how would you attach the legs? All right, so that is the R2 unit. And what is he called? It's called an astromech droid. I'm gonna call it an R2, a red R2 unit, because I'm sure that's what it really is. Okay, so this is one of the main elements that you always see in a Star Wars ship. It's like they go down the list. It's like every Star Wars ship has to have one of these. So this is the propulsion unit. This is how the ship flies. So you can see it's got those trans fluorescent yellow dishes attached on the back. So that represents the glowing flame coming out of the Starcraft. Okay, a couple round plates with axle holes. Element number 2 we always see is the cockpit. So here is our cockpit windshield there. And of course we've got our landing gear right here. So what are we gonna do is just gonna put it's a trans clear round brick with one of these inverted tiles, so you can set it down. So that's our landing gear. And it kind of has to balance a little bit. I'm sure once the wings are on, it'll actually balance all right. All right, so now we are building the wings, and it says we're going to build 2 of them. So they show the instructions for 1, but they put a little 2x right there. So that means we're going to build 2 of these at one time. You can build them one at a time. I'm going to build them at the same time. Just get them out of the way. So we should have 2 identical ones side by side at all times. If they don't look the same, you did something wrong. Got a lot of these modified tiles with studs on the side. So that means we're going to be attaching a lot of stuff on the sides. Okay. Looking good so far. Everything is identical. Of course, we have our flick fires. I can already see those pieces laying around. That is the 3rd element that you always have to have in a Star Wars set is flick fires. No matter what it is, the kids are gonna shoot their eye out. As you can see, we got 4 of them. They say to put them right here, which can't really flick them from there. So maybe they're just static. You're really not gonna flick them. But I'm sure the kids will take them off and pretend they're flying. They're just stuck on there pretty well too. Okay, 2 side by side, looking good. All right, next is some sort of wing. There's one of them. Let's do the other one. Now these builds where you have to do 2 of the same thing, it gets really boring. Because you're like, oh, I just did one of those. Do I have to do another one? Yes, you do. So if you've made it this far, you're awesome. If you've made it this far, what's your prize? What is your prize? What do you want? That's it. Got 2 of those. Okay. So we're going to attach it. Good. One more. Good. Okay. All right. So these maroon sloped bricks are actually what holds it up. Looks like we got 2 more little wing pieces, and we will be pretty close to being done. Alright, so this building technique where you take this inverted tile, you can see it's flat on the bottom with the studs on the top. And what they do is they put it to where it covers up each corner of these 3 bricks. So you put it like that to where you can see it's hitting each one on the corners. Now what this does is it adds so much stability, like more than you would even imagine. It makes this one piece of, looks like 2, 3, 4, 5 elements extremely strong. And I know that because I've dropped a lot of these models, and when they're using this technique, almost everything that's connected using that technique stays together. It makes it really, really strong. Okay, so that is it. That is our V-Wing Starfighter. Is it a good guy ship? I don't know. Bad guy? I don't know. Could be. Is it both? Maybe. So let's see what we got here. We'll put... Does this guy have a name? He's just called V-Wing Pilot. So we'll just put this generic pilot in here. He's still holding his gun, and he fits in there. So in case someone tries to bust in on him, he's gonna blast you with his gun that he's still holding. Now, where does our R2 unit go? Oh, that's lame. So the unit, it actually doesn't fit anywhere in here. You have to take the head off and put the head on this little swivel piece. So now his head turns around because he's attached to one of these little turntable modified plates. So you attach his head there. Now he can do his little droid thing and swivel. Not sure I like that, because then you've just got a headless droid sitting around. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our new and improved missile launcher in there. So we got a few missiles that go in there. You can see there they are on the bottom. And then we have this Technic gear exposed that I showed you when we were building it, that we can put our finger back here and turn it, and the wings will swivel in, I guess, what their flying position, maybe this is the landing position, like that, and then it takes off and then it swivels to the flying position. And I shot a missile accidentally. I could see that happening a lot. You just push a little pressure on it down. Let me see if I can show you this swivel action. Yeah. I mean, my big hands get in there. The wing part hits my fingers a little bit, but you can definitely see that nice. It's real smooth. And I keep hitting that one missile there. These missiles, luckily they're hitting the stuff that's on my desk here, but it looks like they are shooting out pretty far. Well, that being said, I better not look right into the thing. Might shoot my eye out. Like literally shoot my eye out. I think I put it in wrong. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so you see them in there? Right there, right there. See if I can shoot one at the camera. Oh, got it. Get the other one. No, you got the point. All right, so that's pretty cool. Nice, easy little build. Kind of repetitive at some points. The missile launcher is kind of cool, though. It's very, very, very sensitive. You just barely see these little fingers of it sticking out right here and right here. You just barely kind of touch one of those down, and the missile's shooting out. So I guess that's why they give you an extra one, because the odds are you're going to lose one of these, maybe both or all three of them. So the build's pretty basic, kind of repetitive, especially with the wings. The new missile launcher is actually really cool. I like it. Of course, you got your V-Wing pilot. You know, not too impressed with the legs, but the new helmet is cool, and of course the printing is pretty much up to top-notch Lego standards. Just done really well. Not too sold on the new quote new red R2 unit. And I just broke my landing gear. I see a lot of frustrations with playing with this model, just from me just fidgeting with it. So get ready for that, kids. So here's our extra pieces. And then when the droid is in there, you've got a droid body with no head. So that's it. Thumbs up if you liked this video, which I know you did because you made it this far. Thank you for that. And if you fast forwarded to the end, how dare you? Thumbs up for doing that. And subscribe. That's your punishment. You have to subscribe to my videos for fast forwarding to the end. Alright guys, we're gonna drop it. Check that video out. It'll be up soon. And catch you next time.